Hello to all and welcome back to War Thunder, as I'm here to show you how to maximise your score in War Thunder Air Forces. Now this applies for bombers and fighters alike, so no matter what you like flying, make sure to stick around and I will show you how to easily triple, quadruple even, sometimes your score in this game, and something that is quite obvious but yet no one ever seems to do it. Now, in my previous video, I said that hitting bases as a bomber is the most inefficient way of grinding in War Thunder, and you will not believe the amount of people who went to the comments and disliked the video saying that, oh actually, medium and heavy bombers should only be hitting bases. And yes, they should only be hitting bases, but is the most inefficient way, and I'm here to show it to you now, as I said I would in my last video. So, bombs are gone here, I'm about to hit my first base, as we will have a look at how many points you get on average for hitting bases. So, as my bombs are just coming in here, and they all land perfectly on target, and destroy the base. And as you can see, that got me 506 points, which many people will tell you is the way you're supposed to play War Thunder, and the best way to play bombers. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at my second video on hitting carriers. So, here we have the same map with the same aircraft, and this time I've chosen two 1,000 kilogram bombs in order to easily take out this carrier. So, simply bombs away and turn back. So let's see how many points that carrier was worth. So yep, that's definitely on fire. And as you can see, my score this time is 1,406. So I have almost tripled my score by hitting carriers instead of bases. But surely carriers sort of count as bases. I mean, they're basically the same thing. So technically you're still hitting bases, right? Well, if that's the case, then let's have a look at my next video. Now the next video is up against carriers, and as you can see I chose 4 500 kilogram bombs, but this time I already had one run on it and hit it with 2 500 kilograms, but it still was not sunk yet, so I'm coming back around for my second pass with the remainder 2 500 kilogram bombs. So let's have a look at how much damage these do and see how many points we receive for taking out this cruiser. So, 2 more bombs on target, turn away, and that's it destroyed. And how many points did we receive? Why, no other than 914 points, the equivalent of basically 2 bases. But these only count for naval missions, I hear you ask, and bases are still the most efficient on ground attack missions, right? Well, let's find out as we get to my next video. This will be against medium tanks. So, as you can see, I'm just lining up this neat little column here, and just 2 bombs away, and that's the remaining 2 500 kilogram bombs away, and as you can see, I score an impressive 6 ground kills here, which gives me the almighty score of 3,774 points. And for those who are wondering, that equals 629 points per medium tank, which means that every 1 medium tank is worth more than an entire enemy base in points. But still not completely convinced? Well, let's have a look at another clip and see if it's consistent. So, into my next clip, and as you can see I already have 3,939 points, as I've already been pounding the hell out of ground targets. And as you can see, I'm just going to drop one singular 500 kilogram bomb on this medium tank, and destroy it. And with that destroyed, my points are now 4,569, which means that that tank gave me 630 points, so one off my last measurement, meaning that consistently medium tanks are worth roughly 630 points. Still convinced that hitting bases is the most efficient way of grinding in War Thunder? Well, let's now have a look at light ground targets, something that both fighters and bombers can attack. And we're straight back to this original clip when I was hitting medium bombers, and as you just saw, I'm currently at 3,774 points for taking out all of those medium tanks. So with that in mind, it's time to hit some light ground targets and see how many points I receive for them. Oh, and before anyone starts asking how I got the bombing reticle outside of the bomber, that's actually because these were all recorded pre-patch, so yeah. But anyway, regardless of that, as the point system has, still remains the same, and I'm going to fire some default rounds of these AA guns. So before you wonder why it's taking so long to destroy these things, it's because these are all default rounding guns, which just sort of suck. And just firing, getting out of range, and oh, just got him in time. And now, as I look to my score, you'll notice I have 4,074 points, which means that that light target must have got me 300 points. But as to be clinical, let's go back to this video again, where I hit that singular medium tank, and as you can see, I got 4,569 points currently. So with that in mind, we're now going to go hit some light targets. So just drop my remaining 3 500-pound bombs. Not very clinically, mind you, but it's a lot easier when you have that outside reticle anyway. And I destroy 4 ground targets with that. So with that in mind, how many points do I now have? And it does take me a little while to have a look at my points here. But as you will soon see, I now have 5,421. And I apologise for having to slow this down here, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it, because I only saw it, I looked at it for a second, annoyingly. But either way, you did see there 5,421, which means each one of those ground targets was worth around 213 points. So why is this? Well, it's actually because that armoured cars and AA vehicles are only worth about 213 points, but the actual ground targets that stay still, like artillery and AAA guns, are worth around 300, so there's some interesting stats for you. But what about fighters, I hear you cry? And yes, fighters are pretty much exactly the same. So this is me at the start of the match, of course have 0 points, and I'm about to go for this F4U, and see how many points we get from standard air-to-air kills, which is once again the main use of fighters in this game. And as you can see, I quite easily took him out, and got myself 563 points, which is about the average for the amount of points you'll get after taking an air kill. So, how does it fare on attacking light ground vehicles? And as you can see, I've started this match with 0 kills as per usual in my K4, just like in the last video. And let's see how many points I'll be getting on average for destroying these armoured vehicles. So I swoop in here, armoured vehicles dead ahead, take my shots, and that's one destroyed. Which got me 208 points for my troubles. So there you go. The fastest way of grinding in War Thunder, as I said in my last video, is not hitting bases and to hit ground targets, as I said, and so many people tried to disagree with me and dislike the video, mainly for that reason. Which makes me somewhat sad that people just go ahead and dislike stuff without actually knowing the facts, but unfortunately there's not much I can do about that. And that also applies to fighters. As I already said, taking out 3 of these very easy to take out non-armoured targets will get you more points than going all the way out of your way to attack enemy fighters. Tragic, I know, but unfortunately, when companies who have no fucking clue what they're doing and how to balance games take control of such things, this is what they do. So, if you like what you saw, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, it's always appreciated. Likes are now more important than ever due to the new YouTube policy, so likes are now even more appreciated than usual. And until next time, I say thank you very much, and I'll see you then.